Good evening. What's going on, all pro wrestling fans of all shapes and sizes from all around the world? Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the YouTube, the Tube. I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, continuing on with GCW, the Collective in Philadelphia, wanted to review the final two shows that I attended as part of the Collective, which are GCW JCW Vs The World and GCW For The Culture number 5. So, GCW JCW Vs The World took place on April 4th at Penn's Landing Caterers, which showcases talent from GCW and JCW taking on other talent from all over the world of many other different promotions. And this was a late night show. Very, very enjoyable. Actually, both shows were late night shows. But we're going to go ahead and get started with GCW JCW Versus the World. Let's get to it. First match. We had a singles match. We had Jordan Oliver taking on Aigle Blanc. And please forgive me if I mispronounce that name. This was a great opening match. This was my first time seeing Aigle Blanc, which apparently he's from France. This was definitely a really awesome match. Aigle Blanc definitely got his chest lit up in this match, but definitely loved the high flying that he showcased. And you know what? This was a great clash of styles from both wrestlers. I know Jordan Oliver is a very well-known wrestler in GCW and JCW. He was a former JCW world champion. But very hard-hitting back-and-forth match. Really could have gone either way. But Jordan Oliver picked up the victory in a very, very close, hard-fought battle as he put away Aigle Blanc with a avalanche acid bomb. Pinned him for the 1-2-3. Jordan Oliver, your winner. Also, great sign of sportsmanship after the match. So, yeah. What a way to open up the show. Really, really good. All right, let's move on to our next match. This was quite an interesting one. Next up, we had a singles match between Griffin, McCoy, and Session Moth Martina. Of course, the crowd was fully behind Session Moth Martina throughout the whole match. Griffin McCoy was pretty much the heel of the match. It was an okay match. Not really too crazy of a match. Not a fan of the finish, to be honest with you. But I felt like this was definitely the weakest match of the whole card, to be honest with you. But Griffin McCoy did pick up the win, pinning Martina after pretty much giving her an eye rake and then just rolling her up for the pin. So a really weak finish, but Griffin McCoy for the victory. But Session Moth Martina, busy weekend for her. It's part of the GCW, the Collective. Because that's pretty much, yeah, that's 3 shows. 3 shows for her. So, she was definitely busy. Okay. This next match was my favorite match of the card, and what I honestly thought should have been the main event, but that's just me. But the only title match of the card. we had the JCW World Championship on the line. As the champion, Masha Slamovich defends against Stardom talent, leader of God's Eye, Syuri, who is also making her GCW debut. What a match. And a big opportunity for Masha Slamovich. This was her first time going up against Syuri. And Masha has been very busy this week. You know, she's wrestled a lot of matches. But yes, this was a phenomenal match. A great clash of these two gladiators. And, you know, I was front row for this show. And, you know, I have to say, I had a really great view of everything. But yeah, this was back and forth. Both these ladies traded strikes, traded submissions, and just their fighting spirits were like really, really extremely high. They were able to escape submissions, get rope breaks, kick out of pinfall attempts, the works. And sure enough, despite both of their efforts to one-up each other, they would eventually run out of time as this match ended in a time limit draw. 30 minutes, time limit draw. And of course, it means Masha Slamovich is still your JCW World Champion. Great sign of sportsmanship after the match. And from the interaction, it looks like Syuri, she wants one more shot. She wants another match with Masha. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. She wants another crack at that title. And I had my Syuri fan towel, which she saw, and she slapped my towel, gave me some dap, so I thought that was really cool. I got to meet Syuri before the show, so it was really, really cool. But I think this is a really big deal. You know, Syuri and her debut time limit draw, definitely match of the year candidate for sure. Crowd was into it nonstop. And you know what? Being that this was pretty much her first match, her first pro wrestling match in the U.S., if I'm not mistaken, I got a feeling, well, actually, technically second match, because there's the Stardom show, which I'll talk about in a different video, but you could at least say first non-Stardom match in the U.S. Bam. There you go. But in all honesty, I think this is really big. And I got a feeling Syuri will be back. I think Syuri will definitely be back. You know, whether it's GCW, Stardom, or another promotion, this definitely won't be the last time we see Syuri on U.S. soil. But quite a great showing for her in her GCW debut. Definitely favorite match. Definitely a match of the year candidate. Alright, let's keep it going. Next match was very entertaining. We had a trios match. We had the team of Los Desperados, made up of Latigo, Arez, and Gringo Loco. And they took on Team Dragon Gate. This time made up of Shun, Skywalker, YAMATO, and Dragon Kid. I was very hyped for this match because, like I said, I used to be a really, really big Dragon Gate fan. And, I got the opportunity to see YAMATO and Dragon Kid live. I've seen Shun Skywalker live before. But it was really cool to see YAMATO and Dragon Kid. This was a very, very back and forth match. Really could have gone either way, but I felt like for the most part, Los Desperados had a little bit more of the momentum throughout the match. And, you know, it definitely showed. Definitely showed when it came down to it. Gringo Loco got the pin on YAMATO after hitting a moonsault, kind of hitting that turning moonsault. And Los Desperados pick up the victory over Team Dragon Gate. Great match. Great match. I was just happy to see the talent showcased in this match. So, good stuff. This next match was very, very intense from start to finish. All right, more trios action. This time, we had team number one. One called Manders teams up with the garbage daddies of Alex Price and Cole Radrick. And they took on the trio of Rina Yamashita and the Astronauts, made up of Fuminori Abe and Takuya Nomura. This was a solid match between both of these teams. So many different styles represented. A lot of double team moves in this match, and you know, Rina Yamashita, I felt like she fit really well with the Astronauts. Very well showcased as a trio. Alex Price, that dude, his high flying ability is insane. Really, really insane. And very speedy like. Which I've seen him a lot via DPW, as well as GCW. So, definitely a familiar face. Same thing with Cole Radrick. But yeah, this was a great match. All 6 of these talent looked really, really well. And Rina Yamashita ended up picking up the victory for her team after hitting Cole Radrick with a Splash Mountain powerbomb through a wooden board. And then she pinned him for the 1-2-3. Astronauts and Rina Yamashita pick up the victory. Great showcase with this tag match, this trios match. Alrighty, let's keep it going with the next match, which I don't have the graphic for this one, so just the FYI. But the next match came down to Team GCW JCW versus Team The World. So, representing Team GCW JCW, you had Calvin Tankman, Charlie Tiger, Marcus Mathers, Speedball Mike Bailey, Mr. Danger, Teriyaki, and Tony Deppen, taking on The World, represented by Ho Ho Lun, LJ Cleary, Lou Nixon, Mizuki Watase, Ricky Knight Jr., Shota, and Yusaku Ito. So, loads and loads and loads of talent in this match. And it was a pretty chaotic match as well. Because, I mean, this was 7-on-7. So, definitely a very chaotic match. A good share of high flying, which I must say, Mr. Danger, that dude is an insane high flyer. Like, a lot of his dives and flips, he gets a lot of height. A lot of height. So, I just thought that was crazy. That was really, really crazy. Even Calvin Tankman as well. And that might be a big man, but he can fly too now. But yeah, just a great and chaotic match from start to finish. But Speedball Mike Bailey, got the victory for Team GCW JCW, pinning Mizuki Watase for the 1-2-3 after hitting him with an Ultima weapon. But that was a wild match. That was a pretty wild match. And then the main event, which I was kind of surprised that this was the main event, to be honest with you. But the main event of GCW, JCW Versus The World came down to this fatal 4-way tag team match where we had the teams of Los Macizos, of course it's made up of Ciclope and Miedo Extremo, versus Amboss, made up of actually Norman Heras and Robert Dresker. So slightly different there, but Norman Heras and Robert Dresker versus Boisterous Behavior of Leon Slater and Man Like Darius versus Mao and Yoshihiko. Another pretty highly action-packed match. And, you know what? It really could have gone in favor of either of these four teams. I felt like the match went the distance, for sure. It was pretty funny seeing Mao pretty much be in control mostly of Yoshihiko and just him doing all the high flying and just tossing Yoshihiko over into the crowd, over the other wrestlers and whatnot. But I mean, it was definitely a wild match with these four teams. But Mao and Yoshihiko pick up the victory as Yoshihiko pins Norman Heras with a Hurricane Rana pin. Just got him with a Hurricane Rana pin. And Yoshihiko 2-0 during GCW The Collective, with victories in DDT and in GCW, JCW Versus The World. But overall, a pretty solid show. But like I said, I really wish the JCW World Championship match was the main event. I felt like it should have been the main event with Masha and Syuri. But it is what it is. Still a good show. Now, before we go into For the Culture 5, here's a quick word on the sponsor of this video, Game Beauty. As you continue to enjoy content here at Blitzball Champ Gaming, be sure you take a moment to check out Game Beauty. Beauty inspired by gaming. Game Beauty brings to you video game related makeup and cosmetic products. You have products such as eyeshadow palettes, elemental pearl highlighters, eyeshadow brushes, liquid eyeliner pens by Akideris, and even non-makeup products like graphic tees. They even have special collaboration makeup kits, such as this Persona 5 Heat Wave Brush Single, Metaverse Bundle, and even a Phantom Thieves Limited Edition Makeup Collection. Also remember that Game Beauty provides international shipping of $60 or more. And if you use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps, you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to use that to your advantage. Now, back to your regularly scheduled video. Enjoy, and thank you. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, switching gears to GCW For the Culture number 5, took place Friday, April 5th. Penn's Landing Caterers, part of the Collective. And this show pretty much showcased all of our black African American pro wrestlers, some of the best out there. But anyway, let me get a sip of water. Alrighty. Let's jump right on into the action. One second. Here we go. Let's jump right into the action with the first match. Alrighty. We had Team Myron versus Team Dollar. So, representing Team Myron, we had Calvin Tankman, Darian Bingston, Devin Monroe, Myron Reed, and Ruckus. Team Dollar was represented by AJ Francis, Isaiah Broner, Keaton, Mr. Danger, and Teriyaki. So, loads of talent represented in this match on both teams. A lot of high flying as well, especially Teriyaki, Mr. Danger, right at it again. Calvin Tankman, Myron Reed, and AJ Francis. Dude was funny. He was going like he was gonna do that that running tope con hilo that he really royally failed at in the WWE, but he did put the brakes on, and he did eventually do a dive, a somersault dive off the top turnbuckle to the outside, which was a lot better of a choice for him. Much better choice. At least he did do some high flying there. But overall, this was a pretty non-stop action match with both of these teams. But it would be Team Myron that would end up getting the victory, as Myron pinned Teriyaki after Ruckus hit an exclamation point on Teriyaki. So, Team Myron, once again, Calvin Tankman, Darian Bingston, Devin Monroe, Myron Reed, and Ruckus are your winners of the opening contest. But good match. Very action-packed, very chaotic. All right. For the next match, had a fatal 4-way tag team match. So, showcasing some more tag teams. Check it out. All right. So, for this match, we had the teams of Kings of the District, which is made up of Eel O'Neill and Jordan Blade. You had the main event, or AKA TME, made up of Duke Davis and Gannon Jones Jr. You had the Killionaires Club, which is made up of Jay Bougie and PB Smooth. And Thick and Juicy 3.0, made up of Brooke Valentine and Faye Jackson. This was quite an interesting match. I'm familiar with a couple of folks. Like, I'm familiar with Jordan Blade. I'm familiar with TME. I'm familiar with Faye Jackson. Everybody else, never even heard of. But this was a pretty solid match. I just felt like the match, I wish the match could have lasted longer, personally. But definitely had a surprising finish. A finish I did not expect. But Thick and Juicy 3.0 actually got the victory with a pretty neat little combo there. Faye Jackson pinned Eel O'Neal after a leg drop, bonsai drop combo between her and Brooke Valentine. But yeah, Thick and Juicy 3.0 for the victory. Now, I do remember the original Thick and Juicy was Faye Jackson and Willow Nightingale, which was actually how I learned and discovered Willow Nightingale in the first place. So yeah, that was, pretty interesting that now that they're on Thick and Juicy 3.0. It's crazy. But they were the winners of this match. Alrighty. Let's keep it going with our next match. Here we go. We had a singles match between Man Like Doris and the Concrete Rose, Sunny Kiss. This was a pretty solid match. Definitely back and forth between both wrestlers. Really could have gone either way, but I really felt like Sunny Kiss really kept the pressure going and kept the consistent offense for the most part through this match. But still, Man Like Doris put up a good fight. But Sunny Kiss ended up picking up the victory after hitting a split-legged stunner on Man Like Doris. So the Concrete Rose, your winner in this match. But very solid singles match. All right. We're going to go back to the ladies now, as we had a six-woman scramble match that was very entertaining. Check it out. So we had Maya World versus the Spark Jada Stone versus Jocelyn Navarro versus Maserati versus the Kick Demon Janai Kai versus Tiara James. So these six ladies showcased in this match. Every woman for herself. Just ignore that. Sorry about that. I was really pulling for the Kick Demon, of course. Although I do like Jada Stone as well. Of course, Jada Stone, South Carolina native, who I've met via DPW. Maserati I've seen before. It's been a hot minute, but I have seen Maserati before. Everybody else I was not familiar with. But, I felt like these six ladies were showcased really well. And I tell you, Jada Stone, she's been really improving, especially with her high-flying ability. She has really been improving. And I have to say, when the opportunity came for Janai Kai to really showcase her talent, thought she looked really good. And like I said, she was my favorite to win the match. But unfortunately, she did not win the match. Actually, Jocelyn Navarro ended up winning this match, pinning Maserati after hitting that running corner sandwich splash. Kind of similar to, you remember what Tenille Dashwood usually does, that running corner sandwich splash? Or when she was Emma, the Emma sandwich. But yeah, that's pretty much what Jocelyn did to Maserati. They covered her for the pin. So yeah, Jocelyn Navarro picking up the victory in this match. But all six ladies looked great, did a great job. All right. Next match. We had a singles match. Too Cold Scorpio taking on the frontman Jasi. To be honest with y'all, I was kind of bored. I was kind of bored. I felt like the most entertaining part was Too Cold Scorpio's entrance, where he was dancing, making his way to the ring. But honestly, this match was kind of boring. I hate to say it, and I like Too Cold Scorpio. I liked him ever since, long time ago, especially when he was Flash Funk back in the WWF. But yeah, to be honest, I was bored. This match was boring. I wasn't feeling it. Really wasn't feeling it. Jossie pinned Too Cold Scorpio after hitting him with a super kick. Pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. Jossie, your winner. But like I said, it was a boring match. Okay. Next up, we had the one and only title match of the card. Okay. This was for the Pan-African World Diaspora Wrestling Championship. Wow, that is a long name. Anyway, the champion, Shun defended against Alex Khan. Great match. Definitely great match. Would have been nice if it was the main event. But great match overall. It was good to see Shun again. Last time I saw him was on the Ashe, the first Ashe wrestling show, which I went to that show with my dad. Alex Khan, I remember seeing him via MLW, so familiar face. Match went back and forth between both these guys, and part of me felt like Alex Khan was gonna win, but Shun hung in there, kept on fighting, and sure enough, put away Alex Khan with a devastating pile driver, then pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. Shun, still your Pan-African World Diaspora Wrestling Champion. And great sign of sportsmanship after the match as well. Really, really cool to see. But great match. And then the main event for the Culture 5 came down to the special singles match. Billy Dixon versus Darius Carter with special guest referee Darius Lockhart. The match was alright. I mean, definitely Billy Dixon was the baby face in this match. And, there's beef between both Dariuses, which I remember seeing take shape back at the Ashe wrestling show I went to. But, I mean, the match was alright. I wasn't... I wouldn't say that it was crazy entertaining. I know it seemed like Darius Lockhart was more in favor of, Billy Dixon and helping him to win. But didn't really end up going the way that Darius Lockhart hoped for. But last thing that happened was Darius Carter trapped Billy Dixon in a figure 4 leg lock. Looked like Darius Lockhart was going to count Billy Dixon out. He ended up passing out. Darius Carter wanted Darius Lockhart to count since both his shoulders were down. So he made the count 1, 2, 3. Darius Carter wins by pinfall while having Billy Dixon trapped in the figure 4. So, kind of a meh finish, to be honest with you. But yeah, a pretty meh finish. Like I said, the title match really should have been the main event, if you ask me. Because the main event that they had was kind of a sour main event. But, there were still some good matches in the show, but I don't know. Definitely seemed like little bit one of the more weaker shows of the collective that I watched. So, or that I watched live. So that was the only thing. And I was front row stage for the Horticulture show. But it was really cool that pretty much there was all sorts of wrestlers in the crowd watching. I mean, Ace Austin was there, Gail Kim, Alicia Edwards, Ricky Starks was sitting in front of me. Who else? Nick Wayne was there. Alex Zane was there. Billy Starks was there. Big Swole on commentary. Her husband Cedric Alexander was there. I mean, we were surrounded by pro wrestlers. It was so awesome. Really, really awesome. But yeah, that was another late night show. So, but yeah, it was good for what it was. Definitely good for what it was. But just, I felt like one of the weaker shows compared to the rest of the collective shows that I watched. But anyway, that'll do it for this review. Don't forget to check out Game Beauty. And, let me know what y'all's thoughts were. What did y'all think of both GCW, JCW Vs The World and GCW for the Culture 5? Let me know what you thought of the matches. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell while you're at it. And thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube, I'm your host, Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. Hope everybody has a blessed day tomorrow, and I will see y'all in the next video in our live stream. Take care. Peace out.